The MLP comic books are an interesting concept to me the first time I heard about them. Arc 1 was just coming to a close around the time I had first finished the show, and I was just getting into the fandom. Picking up on Chrysalis' story from after a Canterlot wedding? I'm sold, man. I own the first arc in its entirety, and upon reading them, I was rather impressed with the level of quality that they held up to. I was really excited when I heard a micro series focusing on individual characters was coming, but also a bit skeptical as to whether or not they could pull it off as well as the main comic series. Regardless, I got my hands on the first 2 issues and cracked into issue number 1, not really caring as much because I was more interested in the Rainbow Dash one at the time, but we'll save that for next time. I had read the art wasn't very good beforehand, and while it does leave a lot to be desired, it's always strange transforming the show's beautiful animation into comic book form. Though I can't help but squee when I open the first page and see the adorableness of Twilight chewing on her mane. Also, take a look at Spike here. His face is just menacing, and it makes me want to read all of his lines in this like stereotypical vampire voice. The only other art that stands out here is the look on Celestia's face when she's telling Spike to just stay behind. It strikes me as just creepy for some reason. He's a baby dragon after all. The story is simple. Twilight is sent to help an archivist named Summer Main sort books as a part of her intermediate level 2 training from Celestia. You know, you have to remember this is pre-Alicorn Twilight we're talking about. But Summer is essentially a crusty old prune who generally hates Twilight's all-around like resilience and strength and strong-willed chipper attitude. Speaking of which, I wonder if we'll ever see Twilacorn in the comics. Anyways, Summer resorts to spouting off a bunch of stupid insults, constantly using names like Twilight Spackle, Trilike, and even Flashlight. It's stupid and it really makes no sense at all. Come to think of it, there's a lot of inconsistencies here, like when Daring Do is brought up, Twilight calls the book Quest for the Sapphire Statue instead of Sapphire Stone, like it is in the show. Also, there's a point where she randomly comments on how nice the ceiling is. The fuck is that? There's a nice variety of references here as well. There are a lot of books like How to Train Your Baby Dragon and of Ponies and Prejudice. There's even a moment where Summer asks Twilight if she likes to read the silly book about the vampire ponies, obviously a play on words on her name. We even learn that Twilight's favorite author is Jade Singer. At one point, Summer also mentions she forgot her checkbook. Well shit, just add another form of currency to the clusterfuck that is equestrian economics. By far the most random reference though is Twilight actually singing a ponified version of Call Me Maybe, to which Summer responds with some old-time swing music Twilight can't stand, which is ironic to me because I hate all new mainstream music and actually enjoy all the old school tunes. As the story progresses, Summer opens up a bit more to Twilight through her love for books, and they begin to bond. Eventually, Twilight's caught snooping in Summer's private writing room, which makes for an interesting little twist at the end when it is revealed that, dun dun dun, spoiler alert, Summer Main is Jade Singer. She's been Jade Singer all along. This is interesting because now we have a theme tying together a lot of the strict nitpicks that she has with Twilight, and we can see a whole new side of her. It's much reminiscent of Cranky Doodle from A Friend Indeed, and how grumpy he is, with his closed-minded personality blinding him from seeing a joyful friend who was right in front of him all along. Both characters are also driven by nostalgia and just want solitary peace. The ending also really resonated with me because I'm a writer and I know that fear of not being able to live up to your previous works. It's really neat that Twi relates to this with her stressful magic training with Celestia, and then proceeds to explain how her friends celebrate her victories with her and catch her when she's fallen. I like how we got to see this resolved as Jade released a second book regardless of whether or not she thought it was good. There is finally a moment of understanding between the two, and they become friends. The lesson here is to not give up during hard times just because something's challenging, and this is steadily reinforced by Twi's determination to not give up on being Jade's friend, no matter how much of a hard-ass she was being. Perseverance and time overcome all challenges and allow us to grow. Or you could just take Celestia's bullshit lesson she's sending to Twi, which isn't even really a lesson, it's just a chance to shoehorn in at the last second that Jade was her friend, which completely contradicts her having friends, or I don't fucking even know. Overall, there's a lot dragging this issue down, but I don't believe it's as bad as people say. It's probably worth a read, especially if you're a book person. Twi's antics and the message at the end make it a decent beginning to the Micro Series. So until next time, this has been Jay-Z the Comic Brony saying that it never hurts to read between the lines.